Hello and welcome back to this channel. Now in today's lesson we're going to look at how to write the narrative composition. This type of composition is firstly written by students writing final examinations. At one point in the course of sitting an English exam, you might find a place where you're required to write narrative composition. Narrative compositions can come in various instructions. Today in our lesson we shall look at a narrative composition in which you've been given a sentence and then you continue the story. So how do you write the narrative composition? Let's have a look at the start sentence composition. Here the student is given a sentence and then they're supposed to continue a story. Now for the most part, students get a little bit confused. They ask themselves questions like, how do I continue? What are the examiners going to check? And so on. Now in the narrative composition, the student is expected to write a story which is basically about personal experiences. So if you try to look at how you would definitely summarize what makes up a narrative composition, we can say it's simply a story mostly about personal experience, written as an essay, usually told in a fascinating way to capture the reader's attention. I'd like you to underline the following. We're saying first of all it's a story, and if it is a story, it means it's going to contain all what entails a story. It is mostly, we're using the word mostly, it means it's not all the time, about personal experience. An experience can be personal, or it can be one that the student had somewhere, or it's a story which was being told by somebody, then they decided to write it in the essay. Now, the other thing you have to note is that it has to be told in a fascinating way. You have to tell the story in such a way that somebody gets engrossed into your writing. You have to capture a reader's attention. You have to make sure that somebody reads the first paragraph of your story and they get the desire to learn more about the events that follow next. So in essence, you must capture the reader's attention. For KJSEA assessment, the story may be started for the learner. The learner is then expected to complete the story in their own words. Okay, KJSEA, this is the exam being done in grade 9 in Kenya in what they call competence-based curriculum. A number of folks approached me and told me to teach this, and therefore it's tailored for the students who are going to write that final exam. The ones who are writing the old syllabus or the old curriculum exam, the 844, may find this helpful too, alongside their teachers. So the learner is expected to complete the story in their own words. Understand that here the examiners are after your original work. They're after judging the competence you have gained over the years in written English. Therefore, it is very important for a student to not only be creative, but also be original in their work. Now, a sample start sentence composition question can help us understand further what we're talking about. Let's look at one from probably the Examination Council sample papers, which are doing rounds on social media, and they're also on their website. They're available to the public. So there's one that goes like this. The head teacher stepped forward, looked at us and smiled, and it was going to be an exciting day. Now, the instructions hitherto this start sentence appearing are very clear. The learner is expected to complete the story in their own words. Now, how do you even start? What entails writing a story that can earn you marks? We're going to see the prerequisites. What you need to have in order to write a good story in our next video. Be sure to subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss the next video, in which we're going to be looking at how to now build up from this start sentence and come up with a story that is fascinating, a story that can earn you the required marks. Thank you. See you in the next video.